Hello YouTubers, this is SHEM, and here in front of me is the brand new HTC One M8. In this video I'll review the device and show you a bunch of pictures taken with its camera. As usual, you'll find a timeline in the video description so that you can jump to the section of interest. Unfortunately, this is a testing unit and it didn't come in its original packaging, so I will not be able to do the usual unboxing, but I will still show you all the included accessories. Along with the smartphone, I've also received a dedicated HTC dot view case, which is not normally included. You will be able to find a full case review on my channel as well. So in the original set you'll find your HTC One M8, which I'm gonna put aside for a moment, black in-canal earphones with red tips, a USB charging cable, a wall charger, and SIM and microSD ejection tool. Additionally, in the retail unit you'll get a set of instructions and a warranty card. Moving on to the smartphone build and design, the phone is simply gorgeous and makes a great first impression. In the front on the top lies the first stereo speaker, and to its right is a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. Below lies a sheet of Gorilla Glass 3 protecting the 5-inch 1080p display. Below the screen is a black stripe with HTC logo that has no buttons, which could be found in the previous model. On the bottom is yet another HTC Boom Sound stereo speaker. The whole body of the device is made of aluminum. On the left side there is a hidden nano SIM tray which you can eject using the tool. You insert the card by placing it on the tray. On the bottom lies the micro USB port and the 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right of the headset is a volume rocker and yet another hidden tray from the micro SD card slot, supporting cards up to 128GB in capacity. The top of the device is made of glossy transparent plastic that hides an infrared port, and there is also a power button on the right side. On the back of the device on the top is a dual camera. The top one captures the depth of the image and the bottom is a 4.1 ultra pixel module that could be found on the previous HTC One. On the left of the main camera lens lies two-colored dual LED flash. The whole back is once again made of painted aluminum with a HTC logo in the middle. The battery of the device is non-removable and the back panel is not detachable. When it comes to the phone size, it's 70.6mm in width, 146.4mm in height, and its thickness is 9.4mm. The device weighs 160 grams. It's quite tall and the power button on the top does not make it easy to press. Under the top speaker grille hides an LED light. Unfortunately, it is not multicolored LED and just lights up in either green or orange. Thanks to the rounded edges, the device is very comfortable to hold, and in my opinion it is the prettiest smartphone in the world. One thing that I should mention is that I did notice scratches on the back after a couple of weeks of normal usage, and what is a little bit surprising is that I could also see a few on the Gorilla Glass protected screen. When it comes to the spec sheet, the phone rocks the newest quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 clocked at 2.3 GHz, Adreno 330 graphics chip and 2GB of RAM. There is also a built-in radio, Bluetooth 4.0 and NFC and LTE module. The device comes in 16GB or 32GB versions, both expandable by the SD card slot. When it comes to performance, the One M8 performs as well as you would expect from a phone with top mobile processor. In Antutu benchmark, it achieved 33,763, which puts it near the top of the rankings. This is perfectly suited for gaming. The most demanding titles such as Need for Speed Most Wanted or Modern Combat 4 run smoothly without noticing a single frame drop. Adreno 330 graphics chip inside the Snapdragon 801 chip allows for smooth gameplay, and I think that we are yet to see a mobile title that can make full use of its power. During gaming, I did notice quite uncomfortable heating up below the camera module on the back. HTC One M8 comes with a 5-inch screen with a resolution of 1080 by 1920, which gives it a pixel density of 441 pixels per inch. The Super LCD 3 screen on the smartphone has great viewing angles, contrast and the color reproduction, and is one of the best that I've ever seen. As opposed to competition with miscalibrated screens, here the whites actually look white. The outside visibility is also very decent thanks to high brightness levels. One thing that surprised me a little bit is that the screen is so sensitive that it actually works even without touching it. It is enough to have your fingers a couple of millimeters away. This is what actually makes it possible to use the dot view case on the smartphone, as the case itself does not have any built-in sensors. If you listen to music a lot or you're an audiophile, the HTC One M8 is the phone for you. It comes with improved HTC Boom Sound speakers on the front that are unmatched when it comes to the quality of produced sound. It's not only the speakers that make the device a perfect companion for audiophiles though, as the sound on earphones from HTC One M8 is a lot louder than the likes of Xperia Z2 or Samsung Galaxy S5, and the tones are better balanced. The flagship HTC currently runs on the newest Android 4.4.2 KitKat with Sense 6.0 skin from HTC. It offers a polished look, and one of the best features of the software is HTC Blink Feed, which replaces one of the home screens and offers you quick access to all your social media as well as favorite news sources. HTC also pre-installed a few nice looking widgets, such as a rather pretty weather and clock widget with quick access to weather updates and a clock application with a nice world clock. The launcher has a built-in theme support to quickly customize the look, and there are 4 themes to choose from. On the list of apps, you will find the standard set from Google and a few others. I'm not gonna show you all of them, but there are a few that need to be mentioned. First is Fitbit, which makes use of HTC One M8's built-in podometer and counts the number of steps that you take each day and lets you track your fitness. The second that I want to show you is a note-taking app called Scribble that lets you quickly create customized notes and has a set of templates to easily create birthday cards, etc. There is also a complete set of useful tools, such as voice recorder, flashlight, stocks, and an app called Zoe to share video highlights created with your phone that will launch in June. Because the phone comes with an infrared sensor, on the list of apps you'll also see one called TV, which in just a few steps will let you replace the remote to any TV. Along with the purchase of the device, we get 50GB of Google Drive storage for 2 years, which is a nice promotion as normally 100GB would set you back $2 a month. HTC One M8 also has a built-in gesture support, and there are a few on the list, but most notably the double tap to wake and quick camera launch by lifting the device and pressing the volume up button. HTC One M8 has a built-in non-swappable 2600 mAh lithium polymer battery, which is pretty small compared, for example, to the 3200 mAh found in Xperia Z2. The result is average battery life. During a normal day of use with LTE on and full screen brightness, I would get around 4 hours of screen on time and 12 hours overall use. Of course, this time could be extended further with brightness reduction and power saving features. The One M8 also has an extreme power saving mode, which turns the screen brightness to minimum and limits the functionality to just a few basic tasks. And that guarantees up to 15 hours on standby from last 5% of battery. Now let's talk a little bit about the camera in HTC One M8. The main one on the back is the 4.1 megapixel ultra pixel module known from the previous HTC One, but there is an additional camera for capturing depth of the image. You can select 6 different options in the camera menu: the camera, video recording, Zoe camera, auto portrait, dual capture and 360 panorama. After selecting the camera, there is a menu with options on the bottom of the screen when holding the device in horizontal position. On the list of shooting modes there is auto, night, panorama mode, image stabilization, manual, landscape, portrait, backlight, text and auto. HTC One M8 has the most impressive manual mode that I've ever seen on a mobile device. It lets you not only adjust the ISO, exposure and white balance, but also the aperture value. When it comes to the quality of pictures taken with HTC One M8, they're actually not as good as some would expect. First of all, the 4 megapixel resolution, although sufficient for pictures to be shared on social media, translates into low detail levels and makes zooming impossible. I have a video on my channel which compares the HTC to the Sony Xperia Z2 and the Samsung Galaxy S5, and unfortunately the M8 performed the worst of the bunch. It seems like it also has problems with adjusting the right exposure values, and very often the images look over or underexposed. The low light pictures are also far from perfect, and the overhyped ultra pixel technology in fact performs average at best. On a positive note, the 5 megapixel front-facing camera is one of the best that I've ever used. Its wide-angle lens makes it perfect for all selfie lovers out there. The second camera on the M8 lets you change the focus of the image and add a bokeh effect after the image was captured. All you have to do is go to the gallery, select edit and then U-focus. Here you will find a variety of cool effects and also a 3D Dimension Plus feature, which added the third dimension to your pictures and lets you save them as video. HTC One M8 records video at a maximum of 1080p 60 frames per second. The material looks good, but I would have expected the addition of 4K video recording, which can be found in the competition. There is also a dual capture mode, which lets you record video and capture images with front and back camera simultaneously. The final question is whether HTC One M8 is the phone for you. It is without a doubt one of the strongest smartphones with regards to technical specification and features. Its main positive sides are beautiful design, the best speakers and audio quality, great screen, superior performance, an inclusion of infrared port and podometer, and nice skin from HTC. On the list of negatives are lack of water resistance and IP rating, average battery life, prone to scratching body, average camera, and heating issues. HTC One M8 is one of the best phones that I've ever held, and it is the perfect tool for audiophiles and music addicts. I personally wouldn't choose it for its average camera performance and lack of water resistance, but everyone uses their phone differently, and the M8 is definitely up there with the top handsets. I hope that you've enjoyed my review. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button under the video and subscribe to my channel for more content coming soon. Also, make sure to check out some of my other videos.